2022 venture capital funding hit an all-time high. Founders everywhere were chasing million-dollar checks. But while everyone else was pitching VCs, these three Gen Z founders did something different. They built million-dollar companies without raising a single dollar. And their strategy, it completely flips the traditional startup playbook on its head. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how they did it, the 3 steps they used that most founders overlook, and by the end, you'll see why Gen Z is building bigger companies with zero funding than most founders do with millions of dollars in the bank. Let's dive in. Let me take you back to 2012. A 19-year-old kid is sitting in his mom's garage, hand sewing gym clothes. No money, no connections, just a sewing machine and a laptop. That teenager was Ben Francis, and what he did next completely changed the game of building a brand. Here's what most people don't know about the early days of Gymshark. Ben didn't waste his time trying to get meetings with retailers. He didn't spam Instagram ads. He noticed something that everyone else missed. Fitness YouTubers were building massive, loyal audiences, but no brands were taking them seriously. He took his last $500, made a handful of samples, and sent them to small fitness YouTubers. Not huge ones, but the ones with dedicated followers. No contracts, no requirements, just free gear. But here's where it gets interesting. While other brands were fighting over the biggest influencers, Ben was building real relationships with small creators. He joined their workouts, featured them on Gymshark's page, turned them into actual partners, not just paid promoters. And the results, in the first year, Gymshark hit $250,000 in sales, and by year 2, they had hit $9 million. All organic, all through community, but check this out. The real genius wasn't just sending free products. It was what Ben did next. He started hosting in-person meetups where fans could train with their favorite Gymshark athletes. These weren't fancy marketing events. They were real workouts in real gyms, creating real connections. And here's what most modern founders often miss about this approach. It's not about the size of your audience. It's about the depth of your connection. A recent study showed that Gen Z founders are 3 times more likely to focus on community building before monetization compared to previous generations. And it's paying off. Gymshark's strategy isn't the only way Gen Z is flipping the script. Let me show you something more interesting. While 19-year-olds were trying to avoid parking tickets, Josh Browder was building a robot to fight them. That robot became Do Not Pay, and what happens next shook the entire legal industry. Here's what most people miss about the Do Not Pay story. Josh didn't start by trying to build a massive legal tech robot company. He didn't try to solve every problem. He focused on one specific pain point that drove people crazy: parking tickets. And he made it dead simple. Upload your ticket, answer a few questions, and let the bots do the work. The results were instant. In the first few months, Do Not Pay helped overturn 160,000 parking tickets. The media went crazy, but here's where Josh was different. Instead of using this success to raise venture capital, he listened to his users. They started asking for help with other legal issues, so he expanded, one service at a time, always keeping the core product free. According to recent data, 63% of Gen Z founders prioritize solving one problem perfectly over building a complex solution. They're not trying to boil the ocean. But there's one more story you need to hear because it shows exactly why this generation is building things differently. Nick D'Aloisio could have done what every other founder does: pitch investors with some fancy deck about how they were going to revolutionize news. Instead, he did something radical at the age of 15. He built it first. While his friends were playing video games, Nick was coding an algorithm that could summarize news articles. No pitch meetings, no fundraising, just building and testing. And the results, Sumly got 200,000 downloads in the first few weeks. Not because of marketing, not because of funding, but because it actually solved a real problem. Yahoo later bought Sumly for $30 million, but the biggest lesson isn't the exit, it's about the approach. Nick didn't talk about what he would build, he built it first. Now, you might be thinking, great stories, but how do I actually use this? Let me break it down into 3 steps you can start using today. First, find your small, passionate community. Don't try to reach everyone. Gymshark didn't target all fitness enthusiasts. They focused on the hardcore gym goers who watched YouTube. Your community might be smaller, but if they care deeply about what you're building, that's all you need. Second, solve one problem better than anyone else. Do Not Pay didn't try to replace lawyers. They made fighting parking tickets dead simple. What's the one problem that you can solve better than anyone else? Third, build first, talk later. Stop worrying about perfect pitch decks. Start building something that people can actually use today. The best pitch deck isn't a slide deck, it's a working product with real users. The game has changed. While everyone else is chasing VC money, Gen Z founders are proving that there is a better way. They're showing us that they don't need millions of funding to build something massive. You just need to solve a real problem for real people. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more founder stories and strategies. Drop a comment below telling me which founder story resonated with you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.